So I'm going to eat number 2 as you ask question 2.
All right. So the second question is one that I came up with very early on, and that is, which referee, in your opinion, had the best pin count?
Tommy Young immediately comes to mind.
Really? Tommy
Yeah.
Young. Wow.
Why so?
I wouldn't have thought of that right away. Tommy Young.
Tommy Young, when we did our referee video quite a while back, I think we both talked about how much we love Tommy Young, and a lot of it had to do with how expressive he was and the relationship he had with some wrestlers like Ric Flair. But also all around, I think he had a nice, consistent count.
He did have a consistent count. He kind of got his arm now. People listening won't be able to see this, but he kind of did like almost a shake with his every time, and which was very distinctive. Like, you know, so if the question was distinctive, I would certainly put him
Maybe that's what I was thinking, because that was the first thing when you said that. I saw Tommy Young doing that in my head. Definitely, I think when you talk about best count, you just talk, I think, about best referees too. I would definitely probably put both the Hebners in that conversation.
So that would have been my answer. And as I'm talking about Hebner here, Leonard, you should also think about the other part of this question was who would have the worst pin count.
Yeah.
But I would say Earl Hebner would top my list simply because when he counted from 2 to 3, you believed that he was going to go all the way.
Yeah.
Like, that's clutch, because let me tell you, on the flip side of that coin, some of the referees today, I don't care what company you're talking about either, they are not good at doing that 2 to 3 count. You can tell that they want to stop every single, like a lot of them, you can tell that they're going to stop and that they're not going the whole way, which basically just kind of breaks that imagination from the viewer of, like, you know, they know what the finish is and they're just going to stop. Earl Hebner, like, his arm was like almost like a rubber band. Like, you know, he would go down for the 3 count and you thought he was going to go the whole way, and it would always come so close. So like, I missed that. And that's why I think I put this question down, because some of the referees today, they just don't do that. And a lot of them don't have any names, you know, they have names obviously, but
but they don't talk about them.
Right. Their names are not advertised. So I would just kind of put the collective referees today in a group in that regard. There are some good refs, but anyway.
Yeah, when you ask me worse, like, nothing really came to mind, but it's probably, as we've talked about, I don't necessarily watch a lot of the current product, although I do listen to some other podcasts, and I hear a lot of the referees today, you know, people crap on them because and when we talk about the Hebners and Tommy Young, like, they understood what a match was,
right?
And they understood what their job was, and I think they, almost like an actor, you play the part in the course of the show, where if we're going to compare that to referees today, it's more like they're just reading the script. They're not playing the part, they're reading the script.
Right. And you know what, I will say this, some of the older referees, like I'm talking pre-syndication deals, like territory era referees, some of those older gentlemen, like, I mean, sometimes those 3 counts feel like they would last like 30 seconds. Like, when they would get down and they would have to get down on their knees and then they would go, like, some of the, and you know what, guest referees, part of me cringes every time there's a guest referee that's like, especially a non-wrestling personality guest referee, because then it's like, oh, this is because when the referee's count looks odd, it does take, in my opinion, some of the drama and suspense out of the match. It really, really does. It can break a moment very easily, whereas sometimes the referees that are really good, like your Tommy Youngs or your Earl Hebners or your Mike Chiodas, like, when they are doing those quick counts and those close calls really fast, like, that can add to a match too, in my opinion. So,
and while we're here, I would say best fast count is Teddy Long. If you go back, I don't remember exactly what the match was, but the match where Teddy Long like goes heel and he does a fast count is the fastest fast count ever of like crooked referees. He's got the best crooked referee.
I think I remember what you're talking about.
Actually. Yes, Teddy Long is the best crooked referee. There's a side question. Who's the best evil crooked referee? I go Teddy Long.
Not what's his name? Maddox or whatever.
Dangerous Danny Davis and Patrick would be the other one.
Nick Patrick and
Nick Patrick. I almost said Neil Patrick, like Neil Patrick Harris, and I knew that was wrong.
He was never a referee as far as
He was never, and he would probably be a lousy guest referee. I'm just guessing.
So, Leonard, how was that sauce?
That sauce was a little bit hotter than the first, but oddly, I didn't think it was too much hotter. I forgot to look at the labels to see what was in there. That tasted more like a habanero with maybe some citrus in it, but pretty good.
All right, great.
Okay.
Sounds like a hot sauce I like. I like habanero with like.
Yes. I like the second one better than the first.